Canada. This is Roger. Anytime I need a soulful jolt, I watch Michael on Soul in the City. And guess what it's on? MuchMusic.
Just ahead, a profile on Roger Troutman of Zapp. Our profile today on Soul in the City features the one and only Roger Troutman, sometimes known as Zapp, and you'll find out why in our profile. I sort of labeled him as the deadliest funk musician since James Brown and George Clinton. He's a master of his trade, an amazing guitarist, the producer of Jessie Ray and Shirley Murdoch, and throughout the course of the interview, we became very good friends. Let's start at the beginning and discover, together, Roger Troutman.
Starting with me, man, it was just like, I don't know, the whole thing is like a dream come true because I always wanted to play. And when my parents saw that I was interested in music, my father used to say, I would say, look, Dad, would you please buy me a guitar? Please buy me a guitar. And he'd say, no way, boy, I ain't gonna buy you nothing unless you can prove you can play it. So I had to go throughout the neighborhood, you know, finding guys who had a guitar or a saxophone or whatever and learn to play. And once I was good enough, I would go and play for my father and he would buy me instruments. So basically, that's what happened. I just kept, you know, studying instruments, and I'm talking about like 6 and 7 years old. And once I was pretty good on a lot of instruments, I started teaching other guys how to play, and I tried to put a group together. And the first thing I knew I needed to get together was a PA system, you know, with the big speakers and the board and everything. And I told my father I wanted. He said, sure, we'll go to the bank on Monday. We went to the bank, we borrowed the money, and he gave me, I said, well, thanks a lot, Dad. This is so great of you. You're just, oh, I love you. You're just great. And my father said, thanks nothing. He handed me the payment book, and he said, you got to make the payments. And basically, that's what got me started, you know, in the business, because I had to go out and search for, you know, places to play. I would find all the teen hops. And, you know, by being black, I discovered then at a young age that, first of all, there weren't that many black sock hops to play at. There were some, but I needed to make enough money to make those payments. So I wanted to play for everybody. And one thing I discovered is I had to learn all of the top music, you know, no matter what was out. As time went on, some of the guys in the group would, you know, kind of get the big head and they would quit on me. And I would run to my father and say, look, Daddy, this guy actually quit on me and I got a show tonight. And I thought he would be, you know, would say, oh, yeah, sure, Roger, I understand. But he said, I don't care. I told you a long time ago, you got younger brothers, you ought to teach them how to play, and then you're a sucker because you need to learn to get your brothers. And from that day on, I've really been incorporated, you know, with my brothers, and that's basically how we keep going right now. The guy that was giving you trouble before the show is my brother. He's my road manager.
This is my son. I want you to watch him play. Come on out here, boy. Play that music.
Stage. He's 18. My nephew plays bass. And my other brother writes with me, Zapp Troutman. I have another brother who takes care of my construction company back in Dayton, which we own about 250 houses. And I have another brother who manages my career, and we basically keep everything together just because my father said, you know, keep it like that.
You're also involved with young people. Tell us how.
Our company, so to speak, and I have a studio, I have a limousine service, I have a construction company. And I basically take young people off the street and offer them jobs. Now, naturally, when they come to work, they don't understand about studios. So I train them as they work. And I think that that's one of the greatest things that I can give back to my community. In other words, you know, the people in my community have made me what I am, and it's my gift back to the community. And not only that, I mean, young people, there's so many bad things going on. I mean, let's just be frank. I mean, dope, I think, is terrible. And I think that young people should understand that if they stay away from drugs and alcohol, that they can do anything they dream of. And I think it's important for me to reach out and do some things in the community for young people. Not just talk about it, but do some things. So I definitely do a lot of things back in Dayton. And the key thing I always say to young people is stay away from drugs and alcohol. And if you remember to stay away from drugs and alcohol, you'll have diamonds and success and lots of women like Michael and I.
video quite well, and you also express your humor in video.
I think that any media, whether it's records, videos, radio stations, live performances, I think it is the place or the arena for me to express myself. I never try to, you know, be preachy, or I never take any political stands, but I do feel like if a guy, maybe you, sir, if you're sitting there watching this program, you've probably all week been putting up with your boss, and you're probably sick of him. You've probably been paying bills that you're sick of paying. You're probably tired of buying Pampers, and you're probably sick and tired because you got to get brake shoes on your car. And somewhere along the line, it's his turn to enjoy himself, and I feel like that's where I come in. And if I can entertain a person who's had a bad week, I feel like he can depend on me to get a little bit of an escape from reality. And I think that's my function in life. I think that's really what you're all about. I mean, if people watch your program, they're watching so they can forget about their problems. They have a new TV, so they like the TV. They turn it on, they turn it up loud so they can watch everything, and it's in color, and it's something that I feel is necessary.
Zapp and Roger, is there a difference?
I guess the distinction would be the difference between a Mick Jagger record and a Rolling Stone record. Sometimes I think Mick Jagger goes out and he does a project by himself because he feels like expressing himself as a solo artist. And I don't know, it was just something I wanted to do to assure my fans that they could get 2 records a year. Record companies won't let you put one record out, and I decided I would try to be signed both ways as a producer of Zapp and a producer of the Roger record. And I had no idea that More Bounce, which was the first Zapp record, would do so great. And at the same time, I had no idea that Heard It Through the Grapevine, which was the second record I produced, and my first solo record. I had no idea that these records would be #1, but wow, what can I say? It was like a dream come true.
Were you surprised by the success of Unlimited and I Want to Be Your Man?
Totally surprised. I worked harder on that record than I did any record at all because I had done so many records before, and I was really afraid, you know, to just remain a dance, zany funketeer. I wanted to reach out and try to grow with my fans, and I felt that doing a song like I Want to Be Your Man would, now you're not gonna like this, but it would, I felt like I could reach out and say to the ladies that yes, indeed, ladies, sometimes we the men are not willing to commit so quickly. And there's really nothing wrong with committing, that all the ladies want is for you to say that you will be with them. So I decided I would do a song like I Want to Be Your Man to show all other guys that it's okay to be a little weak for the ladies. Because when you think about it, don't you love it when a lady says, "Take me, I'm yours"? Well, don't you?
Oh, yes.
So why can't we express that back to the ladies? So I wanted to try to, you know, select songs like that. And basically, that's what I did with every song, even Night and Day. Every song on the album is basically a love song. Plus, I was having some trouble with a lady that I really wanted, so she wouldn't listen to me because I did it wrong so long, so I wrote some songs.
Did it help? Did you get it back?
No. but I had a successful record, and it introduced me to a lot more ladies and more money.
How do you keep it so funky?
I don't know. It's a mixture of 2 things. One is, when I was a kid, my parents would seem like they were really happy on the weekends, but through the week they would seem cross. And as a kid, I didn't understand it. Now I understand it, that they were at work through the week, and on the weekends they were off, they got paid, they had something to drink, and they had their favorite songs. And I thought on the weekend that my parents were happy because of the music. And they always listened to blues and black music that had a lot of bass in it. So what I would do through the week, Mike, was I wanted my parents to be happy. So through the week, while they were at work, I would pick their favorite songs that they listened to on the weekends, and I would learn the songs note for note. So I could, when they would come home, I would be able to say, "Watch this, Dad," and I would play his favorite song, and it would make him smile. And I guess because of that, I always understood about the heavy bottom. And the other thing that keeps the music so funky is I eat chitlins.
Oh, yes.
That's
yes.
For you Canadians, that's the intestines of a hog that most black people eat. And if you eat them,
This is true. This is true.
even if you talk like this,
Well, hello. Basically, I've
worked my way around the music industry for a lot of years, and I've kept myself pretty much away from most of the tribal music with the lower bottom and the equalizers that are turned up in the lower 50 hertz area. And basically, you know, so if you eat some chitlins, you instantly go into, well, yo, hit me, cry, see, kakagoo. So, you know, sometimes even when I started making a lot of money, I would find myself slipping back to this person, you know. But my hair would go back and I would say, well, listen, I'm not certain if I should sing this kind of music or not. And chitlins would get me right back into the right situation, you see.
What is the connection with James Brown for you? Why did you do Papa's Got a Brand New Bag?
James Brown to me is the equivalent to Frank Sinatra. I mean, he is the greatest. He's always made hit records. He's always been a star and a role model to black people and really all races. And I think he needs to be commended for his work and his dedication to what he's doing. And for me, as just an entertainer coming along, I feel like anything I can do to push his career, I think I should do. I felt that recording Papa's Got a Brand New Bag will give him recognition. Naturally, all of the rights and royalties for the record goes to James Brown, and it's like a gift to him if he's having any trouble, and I just feel like it's necessary. And he's just great.
What's the video like?
The video is basically silly. I'm being very, very, very silly. I start with a taxi cab scene where I'm taking a lot of girls out of the taxi cab, and then I go from a taxi cab driver to this suave, neat guy with a brand new bag, making the ladies fall for me and loving me, and yum, yum, yum.